What's up, guys?
I would like to get us started off. Go ahead, Dan.
Well, I guess the first question is, how are you feeling, and when are you going to be playing? Whether you're going to play in training camp or start for the season? What's going on with your health?
Feel pretty good. I think we've made a lot of progress over the last couple months. We got a plan in place, trying to check all the boxes. So, just taking it day by day. This is still, kind of like a fill period where we just, taking it day by day, keep getting stronger, keep getting better. There's been a few core sessions, so everything is, on schedule. So, but I think with the team, following whatever we have planned, I think there's not necessarily an expectation. It's more about making sure everything is right and doing everything right, and and then go from there.
I guess like the team has kind of posted pictures and videos of you in the gym over the last couple of weeks. What exactly have you been able to do? Have you been able to get in some drills, some live action, or anything like that recently?
I've done a few stuff. Just going, like I said, taking it day by day. Obviously the goal is, to play consistently, and not be in a position that, we were last year. So whatever that brings me there, and whatever the plan is, I think the focus is on just checking all those boxes.
Joe, you gave an interview this summer where you talked a lot about the mental side of the game and the challenges there on top of the basketball and the health stuff. So I guess just one, how are you doing personally, but also do you feel like you're in a better spot right now, mind and body, in terms of how you feel out there on the floor compared to this time last year?
Yeah, obviously, this time last year, I think, going into training camp, didn't really know what was possible and what I was going to be able to do, which I didn't end up doing, much. This time is a different story. Mentally, I feel better. I got great people around me. That's all that matters. So, they keep me up, keep staying positive, and obviously it helps that, you're in a different situation than you were a year ago at this time, right before training camp. So it's a good start. And we just gotta keep going.
Joel, even with, if you're not ready now or today or whenever you're ready, has it just been better for you mentally that, you have been able to make some progress and that you're not in the same spot as you were last year? And how frustrating was that part for you? And, how gratifying is that for you now that you're actually making progress?
Yeah, I think everybody that knows me knows that I want to play, and I want to play, every single game. I've been pretty unlucky when it comes to that, compared to, most NBA players. That's, when you get to the point where, I know I missed a lot of games, before last year, also because of injuries. But when you get to the point where I was last year, where it was so unpredictable, it sucks. It's mentally draining. But I've had so many injuries. The one thing that I've always told myself is, you can't give up. No matter what comes, you just gotta, get back up and keep pushing through, and do the right thing at all times and hope for the best. So, like I said, just, a little bit of a different situation this year. So I'm excited to keep progressing. I feel really good, and I'm on pace to just keep finding myself and being myself.
Hey, Joe, over here. When you sort of talk about the new plan or the plan this time around and sort of the boxes that you need to check, just maybe what are some things that are different about how you will approach just the coming back process? And I guess how confident are you that you guys have found a solution or sort of a path forward that's going to work and create that consistency that you're talking about?
I think I want to be as honest as possible. I think going forward, we're just gonna listen to the body, and I'll be honest and say that it's gonna be unpredictable at times, and that's okay. And we gotta work with that. You gotta take it day by day, and go from there. So I think the only focus that I am is every single time we on the right path, keep going. And if there's something that happens in that time, it's okay. Just focus on fixing it and keep going. So that's my mentality. I understand the situation that I'm in, and it's just taking it day by day, and just listen to the body.
Joel, going back to the ESPN story for a minute here, that was maybe as open as you've been with anyone in your career, I guess. What motivated you and inspired you to be so open for that?
I'm not sure. I think the background of the story, I felt like I didn't do it to put my story out there. I felt like from the first conversation, I felt like it was genuine, whether it was positive and negative or negative. I felt like for the first time, it wasn't about trying to get clicks off me. It wasn't about trying to find a quote to put it out there that's gonna make you famous or whatever. I just felt like I knew what would have come, what was coming with it. I knew it could be positive. I knew it could be negative, but I liked the in-depth reporting that was going on and the questions. So from there, that's what I like. Even talking to you guys, there's a few of these guys that I've known you guys for a long time, and I appreciate the work that you guys do, and but that's what I like about it. There's and there's a few of you guys that also do the terrible job of just trying to get famous and get the clicks, and trying to pick at each some of the quotes or whatever, which is okay. We all have a job to do. I don't blame those people, but then again, there's also a few of those guys of you guys that try to do as good of a job as possible and tell the whole story. Not to try to make me look good or make me look bad, but to report it, the way it is. And, I just liked it. I just appreciate it, that, someone kind of, and to me, when I do this, like even talking to you guys, I don't necessarily have to give these long answers. I could just give a one-word answer. But to me, like I always feel like I'm helping you guys. And, if you're willing to do your job correctly, then, I'm willing to work with it, and I'm going to put myself in a position to help you guys. So, that's the way I felt.
Hey, Joel. The other thing in the ESPN story was talked about your relationship with Jameer Nelson and how he's kind of helped you.
I don't have a relationship with him.
None at all? No. I was just curious what he's kind of meant for you, and obviously his experience being a former player, some of the stuff he's gone through, what he's meant to you being here.
Jameer has been great, obviously, former player. He's from Philly. He's been, here for now a few years. He's done a good job of, just doing a good job. And obviously, he got promoted. Now he's going to have a big part, kind of like on the team with the players and everything. So I think, especially as a former player, it's good to, see, those guys succeed. But yeah, I think, you can relate to him. He played, he knows how it goes. He's been at this level. He's gone places. So I think, he's done a great job.
Hey, Joel, how you doing? You just mentioned wanting to have consistency with your health and your availability.
Yeah.
Have you thought about any ways that you can change the way that you play when you are on the court that can help you preserve that health and be available more consistently?
That's tough. Think about it, but then again, at times you can't get out of yourself. All I know is, ever since I started, is to play hard, play both ends. There's a lot of people in the league, that play, one side, whether it's offense and defense. And, a lot of times, for me, my mentality is to do whatever it takes to win. And, for, all of my career, actually, it's been having to do both. There's some guys that I actually do a lot offensively and, take plays off defensively, and there's some guys that are actually, be the best defenders and, kind of like chill in the corner. And I don't blame them. I get, I've gotten to this point because of, how good I am on both ends of the floor. So if you ask me to, change the way I play, is, the only guess that I have is, either play, offense fully and take plays off defensively, which, doesn't suit me. I don't think I would ever be okay with that. So I don't know. I think we'll just wait and see. But yeah, if it's got to be that way, it's definitely going to be an adjustment. But I don't see that happening.
Joe, you might be the only guy in the organization we haven't talked to about VJ this offseason. Obviously, the pressure that comes with being a top 3 pick like he is. How much have you talked with him, worked with him, and what have your impressions of him been so far?
Oh, I like him a lot. Obviously, I've talked to him a lot. And, even before, even as soon as we drafted him, I just knew I would like him. I like his background. Kind of reminds me of myself, coming from another country and, having a lot of hardships growing up. And he's an amazing kid so far. But, it's been good, having him around, talking to him, kind of trying to help me. I feel like I'm at a stage of my career where, obviously I know the job I have to do. I still, have to be the guy, but I'm also at a stage where I can help a lot of, these young players that are coming in, whether it's him, Jared, or some of the young guys that we've had. I've been in that situation with Tyrese, and I'm extremely happy, and I'm so proud of all the work that he's put in to get, to this level. But he still has more to do, and he's going to do more. I found myself in another situation where there's a bunch of other young guys, and it's my job, other than the job that I have, to kind of show them the way, and for them also to learn from the mistakes that I've made, and kind of giving them more, and and let them figure it out how to live their life, and keep advancing with their career. So yeah.
Joel, how important in a vacuum is this season for you guys as a team, and when you look at this roster, what do you think the ceiling is for the roster, and what do you guys have to do to actually accomplish that?
I don't know. I think I'm past the stage of focusing on ceilings. I think for me, it's taking it day by day, trying to get better every single day. Obviously, we know that for us is the biggest thing is health. That's really the biggest thing. So, focus on doing the right things every single day, and on the court, we have a pretty, I know it's the same team as last year, but we got a lot of talent on the court. So it's all about putting it together. But you can't put it together if everybody's not on the same page and it's not healthy. So the main focus is just taking it day by day, and just be with each other.
Thank you, Joel.